Grace Wickersham, and I'm going to interview Dad. He is the assistant principal at the Evansville Christian School Colon campus. He recently did a lesson about the water cycle and acid rain lesson, and I will ask him a few questions about it. This is the first question. What is the background on the water cycle and acid rain lesson you recently taught? Why were you looking at this content?
Well, I have a background in social studies, and I approached Mrs. Rachel Smith and asked about what she was currently teaching at the time. And she was in Chapter 2, the Earth's Physical Geography, some material that I'm rather familiar with because I've taught 6th grade geography for a number of years. So the way that particular chapter is broken down is Section 1 is called the Earth and the Sun. Section 2 is Forces of Change. And Sections 3, Landforms and Bodies of Water. And after just looking at the chapter, I decided I would tackle Section 3, Landforms and Water Bodies. So yeah, that's pretty much why I decided to teach that lesson.
Okay. How much of your biblical thinking was planned? Were any parts of your lesson spontaneous?
Well, a lot of it was planned. First thing I did was I just got online, looked up what verses pertain to the water cycle. Noticed that some verses in Ecclesiastes, the book of Psalms, fit well with regards to the water cycle, precipitation, condensation, cloud formation, and also I thought of the creation account from the book of Genesis. I did some review of that, just looked at the Bible, looked at Genesis 1 through 3, and read it, reviewed it, thought about it, prayed about it, and just kind of planned out how I would go about sharing these verses, how I would teach the creation account to the students. I thought of past Bible lessons that I've taught, past geography lessons I've taught, and really there wasn't any spontaneous biblical integration, although if that was to take place, I would certainly go that route if I felt a student was asking a really important question and we needed to address that there. Or spontaneous integration is more perhaps someone they maybe make a mistake or they make an unwise choice in the classroom, and now I have this opportunity to address a character issue here, a circumstance. So there was nothing that really lent itself to integrate spontaneously. But the lesson I thought went fine with the content integration that I incorporated.
Okay. What would you change for next time?
I thought of 3 different things that I would change in this lesson if I was to teach it again. The video that everyone saw was approximately 10 minutes or so out of a 20-minute lesson that I taught. So class lessons are 43 minutes long. I taught the lesson in half that time, although I could have easily taught that 20-minute lesson in 43 minutes. So I felt a little rushed in the lesson. I felt I was speaking kind of faster than I normally do. I would have liked to just slow down, ask more questions, have the students ponder what was being taught, perhaps get into some group work of some kind, but with the time I was allotted, 20 minutes, I just cut a number of those things out to make sure that I was able to achieve the objectives that I set forth and make sure the kids learn the material that I taught. In addition to just slowing down the pace, teaching the lesson in a longer period of time, I would have liked the students to be a little bit more actively engaged in the learning process. You know, I had a guided lecture format, and where I was providing a lot of this instruction, asking some questions, using the whiteboard for information that I was providing the students, answers I was getting from them. But I think the lesson would be a little bit better if maybe some of the students were coming up to write those answers on the whiteboard, or maybe I have them pair up and they turn to each other and they're writing answers down on a piece of paper or on their laptop. I think that would have made the lesson better. Just help them understand the water cycle, acid rain, the Bible, Jesus. And a third area that I thought of that would make the lesson better, and again, part of this is a time constraint, but I would have just liked to have asked better questions that are at a higher level, asking them to explain, asking them to describe, asking them to create something, those are the three things. So.
Okay. How do you think your lesson could impact how students view your content in the future?
I feel that the students could leave that lesson better understanding that social studies is a discipline. That when you come into the class, you're not just learning about geography, you're learning science, you're learning math, you're learning English, you're learning art, music, you're learning the Bible. Social studies incorporates a variety of topics, specifically with geography, you're learning about the world and its people, so you learn about everything. So my hope is that the kids come into this class with this understanding after a lesson like that geography contains a lot of information, contains a lot of different topics. I want them to understand that there is no separation from the sacred and the secular. All truth is God's, is all His. So, I hope they think, oh, what do I get to learn about Jesus in Mr. Wick's class today? It's not just in Bible class, it should be in every class.
Okay.